Got it. Okay, we should be live now. So everybody, we got a special one. We got a special one. We got we're sitting down with Solo XO project in the works. You know, we want to get to know who he is before we talk about his project and what state it's at. So super exciting. I love Polygon. I love all the projects that are coming to fruition on Polygon. And we're gonna get to know who he is first. You know how we do. And so and also we've got Dokta Strange. And Dokta Strange, man, how are you today? And anything new going on with you, Dokta Strange?
Nah, man, nothing much, man. Just a YouTube channel. About to ruin my life, you know.
bro, it's gonna get you, bro. The bug is gonna get you, and that's it, man. What's the name of the channel?
All Things Strange.
All Things Strange. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Link in the description after the live. It'll be there. Scroll down in the Dokta Strange little section in the description. Check it out. He spoke to me earlier today, cooking up some heat, man. I mean, beware. Stay tuned, man. So Solo XO, man, talk to me. How you doing today, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
Oh, not too bad. You know, before we started the live, I told you, I had to be a referee between two kids fighting over Pokemon cards. It's been real. It's been real for me.
Was it a shiny?
Yeah, there was one that was shiny, and the thing is, I tell the 5-year-old, I'm like, don't leave your cards where the 2-year-old can get them. Just, you would think this is not the first time, and there was one shiny in there, but it was and then of course the 2-year-old is crumpling them up and
yeah. You got to get him a little card book or something to keep him in.
He has one. He has a card book, but he doesn't like to use it. He likes to have them just readily, like a stack. He likes to have a stack.
Yeah, he's a kid. He likes to play with toys. It's not until you get to our age where you put them on shelves and stuff.
Exactly, man. Exactly. He wants to play with the stuff. He's like, man, put it in the book. I can't touch it. And, get out of here. So John G, Fast Eddie P in the building, in the chat. Welcome. We're sitting down with Solo XO and project creator. So we're gonna get into all of that. And also John G, if you haven't heard, and Fast Eddie P, if you haven't heard, Dokta Strange YouTube channel, check it out. All right. Man, we all up on that channel, man. By the way, before we start with the questions, we always like to show off a physical collectible, and today I'm showing off, this is G.I. Joe issue 21. Let me bring it up a little bit. This is Storm Shadow's first appearance in the comic book. Very special book. I think Storm Shadow is super cool, bad guy. So I wanted to share that for today's physical collectible of the day, of the night. So, all right. So let's get started. The first question I always like to ask is, where were your parents born, Solo XO?
All right. My father was born in Yonkers, New York. And
Yonkers?
Yeah. I've never been there, but that's where he was from. But my mother was born in Tampa, Florida.
Very cool. Very cool. And so where were you born?
I was born in Tampa, Florida.
Oh, okay, Tampa. Okay, very cool. I'm in Orlando. You know what? I don't think I mentioned that. I'm in Orlando now.
Oh, yeah? Yep, Disney World's in my backyard, too.
Very cool. Very cool. And so, obviously, are you in Orlando or are you in Tampa now?
Orlando.
Oh my gosh!
At the risk of doxing myself too much. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
Okay?
it's
I
cool.
don't need the address or anything.
Yeah. No, but I'm definitely like Central Florida, Orlando.
Very cool. Very cool.
Go,
Okay.
go to Disney World all the time.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. It's you know, with little ones, my wife is always saying, "Oh, we got to go, you know, to the theme parks." But man, I don't enjoy the theme parks, to be honest. I don't.
No,
No,
It-
man.
but think about it for them. Like I was raised in Florida my whole life, so I had annual passes to Disney World, and so I was pretty much raised. I went like every weekend, and like if like I think a lot of my creativity and my like interest stem from like being raised at Disney World, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, obviously I have a lot of memories in Disney. You know, I have a bunch of pictures from going out there. At the time we lived in New York, so it was a big thing, you know. And
Yeah.
you know, I have pictures of shirts, literally half shirts showing off my belly. I'm like, Mom, what are you doing putting that on me? It's crazy, you know, but this is, you know, the 80s and whatnot. But so Strange, do you have any crazy pictures going to Disney or anything like that?
I've never been to Disney, man.
No, bro. Oh my Lord.
Never?
My family wasn't that well off growing up, so we just kept it, you know, kept it kind of local. I didn't see Florida until when I moved to Tampa 10 years ago. You know, I pretty much was a northerner most of my life until I moved to Tampa, and I lived there for 4 years. Still didn't do Disney though. We couldn't afford it. We have
Man,
my ex had 4 kids, so yeah,
bro, it's not cheap.
yeah,
It is
but
not cheap, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
We did Busch Gardens. That's as good as it got was Busch Gardens. You know what I'm saying?
It,
I mean,
Busch Gardens got some pretty cool roller coasters in it.
It does. It does.
if I had to pick a theme park to go to, I would pick Busch Gardens. My favorite. I don't like any of them, but if I had to pick one, I pick Busch Gardens because those are the, you know, the type of rides I would prefer. But yeah, man, you look, man, you're not missing anything, bro.
So I had a question. Solo XO, what toys did you collect when you were growing up?
When I was growing up, I wasn't much of a collector. I was more of a like I played with them, but I would think like my main toy was Legos. Like there was a Pirates Legos were like real big back then. That was like the one that came out. So every Christmas and birthday, that's what I would ask for is just Legos. So I'd get like socks and underwear and Legos.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, man, my kids love Legos too, man.
Yeah. It's great because it'll let your creativity come out, you know, at an early age. Because other than that, you really have drawing. You know, it's not really too much you could do as far as building stuff. So I think Lego is like, you know, ultimate with that.
Yeah, I think this
Absolutely.
day and age where everything is like in the Web3 world and the digital world, it is a lot more of that building. Like there is still the art and the drawing and stuff, but there's so much more you can do with building like spaces and stuff like that. And Legos kind of like help that same mentality, taking little pieces and putting them together to make something bigger.
Fast Eddie P in the chat says, remember Connects. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was like next level Legos.
Mm-hmm.
So what about cartoons, Solo XO?
I was mainly like a Disney afternoon kid. So like Rescue Rangers, Darkwing Duck, Tailspin, like those early 90s, like after school cartoons and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I was mainly raised on. And then like the Nickelodeon ones like Doug and Rugrats and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. A lot of the same cartoons I watch, man. So what about best movies? Your favorite movies? It could be from back then or now.
Well, back then, like I'm a total Disney nerd. So back then it was like, you know, Aladdin and the Disney movies and stuff. But I'm actually like, I write screenplays as well. And I make like low budget, like short films and stuff like that. So I'm more into like the film stuff. Like I noticed Strange is wearing a Reservoir Dogs sweater. That's like a great movie. But I mean, really into like the Coen brothers too. If you've ever seen them, like The Big Lebowski is probably their biggest movie, and
Yeah.
True Grit.
Yeah.
But they had a lot of their other movies, like Barton Fink is like a phenomenal masterpiece in my mind. And then another movie that kind of bombed that they did was called Hudsucker Proxy with Tim Robbins, and that's like a phenomenal movie as well.
Yeah, man. It's I'm not familiar in complete transparency with
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm gonna have to Google that for sure, man.
Yeah. But on something more you'll be familiar with, I love the Marvel movies, right? Like during like when the pandemic first hit, I got way more into Marvel than I had been, and I watched all the movies straight through. And then because I only seen them like randomly throughout,
Yeah.
but like I know like from film people and like film students and like film elitists kind of like they look at Marvel movies like, oh, that's not real film and stuff like that. But what I noticed in it is if you watch them all the way through over the course of 10 years, they were able to create like multiple storylines that like came together with like an ultimate like crescendo when you get to like Infinity War and Endgame and stuff. And no film franchise has been able to do that ever. I look at that as like an amazing like world building accomplishment in filmmaking.
Absolutely, I agree. You know, I think they're gonna do it again. I think the next supervillain may be like Galactus or somebody, you know, crazy.
You think so? I'm interested in seeing what they do with Kang, because you know they gave us Kang and Loki, and Kang has the capability of being like a major villain if they get like the Kang Council in and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, if they do it like that, I mean, it's gonna be, you know, they're gonna do it again. They have
Oh
to.
yeah,
It was such a success.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean that's kind of what Kevin Feige said is like, you know, they're gonna not only do the movie thing again, but they're using the television show. You know, so we see all these mini series of like 6 to 10 episodes that are all like building up to stuff. Like I look at those as like these are like the origin stories for what's about to come. And like all these things that seem like they don't have anything in common, from like Spider-Man to Loki to, you know, Hawkeye and stuff like that. I think in the next like 2 years you're gonna start seeing them verge together into a single storyline.
Yeah,
that's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Crypto Pro in the building. What up, fam? I'm glad, you know, see you here. So you mentioned Solo XO. You mentioned the shows. So any favorite current shows that you watch that you're into?
Currently, the Marvel ones I really like. I think like WandaVision, Loki, Hawkeye are all fantastic. I also like period pieces, right? So like there's a new show on HBO that just came out called Gilded Age by the same guy that did Downton Abbey. So it's basically like Downton Abbey set in New York. And I'm really interested in that one right now.
Okay, very cool, man. So what about video games growing up? Were you into any video games?
I wasn't that into video games. I grew up with an Atari first. That was my dad's from college and stuff. So that was like my first exposure to video games, like playing like the old Pac-Man and Adventure and all that. Then I really grew up with a Super Nintendo. So I played like, you know, the first Mario Kart, Super Mario World, those games like that were probably my favorite. And then like, you know, I remember PlayStation, so like Tony Hawk and stuff, and Final Fantasies were really interesting. Now I play pretty much Minecraft. That's like the only game I play right now. I'm like obsessed with that.
Dude, that game is
an interesting game, man, because it you know, it transcends age. I noticed, you know, yeah, really young kids to adults playing that game. It's not a lot of games that could really say that.
Yeah, for sure.
You're absolutely right, Strange. That there's a dude at work that plays, you know, he's in his 40s and he plays it, and he built, like he was telling me, he built what the hell was it? The Millennium Falcon.
Mhm.
He built the
Oh,
Millennium
nice.
Falcon, and he was like, "Yo, you could walk in it and everything."
Yeah. See,
Yeah,
to me, it's like the ultimate Legos. Like I mentioned, I was really into Legos as a kid, and this is like a virtual Legos, except you have zombies and stuff trying to kill you while you're building stuff. So
Right.
it's pretty cool.
yeah, man, I agree, man. So, what about stuff that you collect now, currently? Anything?
Oh, I try not to collect. I like Solo XO is actually like two people. It's me and my best friend, and he's actually like the main collector. So like I like kind of collect, like I'm staring at right now. I got some like Minecraft plushies, some Pokemon toys. But and I really got it like when COVID hit, I got way more into like comic books and started like picking up more and more comic books and trying to learn the whole like mythos behind Marvel and everything like that. So I kind of collect those, but not as collection. I collect them more as like I buy them so I could read them kind of thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
buying to read the comic. That, you know, a lot of times people are just buying for investment, which is, you know, which is cool. But you know,
Yeah.
I like reading comics. And man, honestly, I've not been really good at reading comic books in the last couple of years, man. I tried to keep up with oh my God, Walking Dead, and I couldn't. I forgot. I issue like 100 or something like that. I couldn't. Just I stopped.
Yeah. What
But
I'm
right now, I'm not
finding is,
currently reading anything.
yeah, what I found out is that like it just doesn't end. Like the storylines just keep going and keep going. And when you try to like I started going back and reading like old Jack Kirby ones and stuff. And it's like, okay, like fast forward 5 years, it's still the same continuous story that there's no way you could catch up on any of it.
Yeah, bro, it's never ending.
Yeah.
So speaking of comics and superheroes, if you could be any superhero, which one would you be?
Ooh, already existing? I don't know. I'd probably pick someone like Doctor Strange. You know, like he's the sorcerer supreme. Like if he'd gotten any trouble, he could just make a portal and dip out or something. You know, he's probably one of the most powerful people in the universe, or at least this universe. You know?
Absolutely.
That's a great
I
pick.
like that answer.
Nice.
I knew you would. I knew
Yeah.
you would. Very good. Strange. Have we had anybody else pick Doctor Strange? I'm trying
Never.
to remember.
He is the first. He is the first.
Very
Oh,
cool,
nice.
man.
I've been waiting.
Very kudos to Solo XO, man. I like it for picking Doctor Strange. I like it. So Solo, do you have any Solo XO? Do you have any of your old school toys from when you were a kid? You know, Legos or whatever?
I don't. I wish I did, but like, you know, I in my 20s and late teens, I moved around a lot and lost them all. I do have some friends that, like, I had one friend growing up that every year that he, like Christmas and birthdays and stuff, he would get toys and he never opened them. And he had them basically in boxes for like his whole life, all the way like into like last I checked with him, they were still in his boxes, but it's like all the 80s toys like He-Man and everything else like that.
No way.
Yeah, and I'm just like, man, every single toy that I ever got ended up broken or dirty or lost. Like,
Oh my. Well, going with that, if you could bring back one of those toys that you lost, broke, thrown away from when you were a kid, which one would it be?
I'd probably say my Lego train. I back in the day, well, I think they still make them now. They're more collectible now. Like Lego made trains that you had little electric like rails and like a little box with wheels on it that you built the train around on it. And I had one of those that I would put up every year around the Christmas tree. And like that was probably like the coolest thing. And like if I had that now, it'd be definitely a collectible.
Man, that's dope. That's dope, man. You know, it's funny how that is when you build an emotional tie to a toy or to an item. You know how you get such a strong feeling for it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Yeah, man.
like your best friend. It's like as a child, you have your stuffed animal, right? That you carry around everywhere. And then when you get older, you have toys. And then when you get older, you have relationships and people and stuff.
And you know what? That's a good point there.
Or you just get cars and other big boy toys.
Big boy toys.
I can't afford those.
like Joe's comic book and sports cards collection. Big boy toy.
But you know, Strange, do you remember? I don't know if it still exists, but there was a place on Queens Boulevard called Big Boy Toys. I don't know if you ran across it. It's by Queens Center Mall.
No.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's probably, bro. This is eons ago, bro. So that thing is probably shut down. So anyway. So what you mentioned friends. So what do your friends think about your project that you've got going on? I know you said your project is you have another and a friend.
Yeah, like the friend that I'm a partner with in Solo XO, he actually got into crypto and all of that like long before I did, and he's a really talented like illustrator artist. And I was on the skeptical side, right? On like, there's like crypto's fake money, there's nothing in that, whatever. And then after him like talking to me a little bit about it and like kind of like, hey, help me out with this, I want to do this NFT thing and stuff. And then finally I looked into it and I was like, okay, I think we could do this. Yeah, if this is what you want to do. So he's all about it, obviously. Other friends that I have, they're still on the skeptical side. They live in the real world. They're not so much into digital stuff. So, but
look, man, I know the feeling. It took someone coercing me to warm up to the digital space, and that's Dokta Strange.
He worked his magic on you.
He worked his magic, bro. It's Dokta Strange.
Oh man, it's Dokta Strange.
So
yeah, like speaking about like tie into like our project and toys is like our first project that we just put out that is kind of like to test the waters, like we're new to the space, so we put something out to be able to go into spaces and talk to people and try to build a community. It's called iRock, and it was actually inspired by like, remember in the 1970s where this guy had pet rocks, right?
Mm-hmm.
He like went around, this guy was a genius, he went around, picked up rocks off the ground, put them in little boxes and sold them to kids, and he made millions of dollars off of it.
Sure did.
So you step back like a generation or two and you look at that and you're like, why would anyone pay for that? Why would anyone buy a rock that they could just pick up? And it was like that mentality that I hear about NFTs. It's the same mentality that I had. So why would anyone buy a JPEG or a PNG when they could just save it, But then once I looked into it, I found out that the value of NFTs is not necessarily just that digital picture. One, it's like the artwork itself has its own value for like civilization, human nature. Like we need art as a civilization, as a race, a species. And then secondly, the communities that get built up. When you go on like Twitter and you meet other artists from like every continent in the world, every background in the world, and we all come together to try to build something that's greater than ourselves, that's beautiful, that has like a very noble value. And then I found out that that guy that sold pet rocks to children for millions of dollars, his whole reason for doing it was that he saw a whole bunch of kids losing their like pet dogs and pet cats and stuff and grieving over it. And like they were heartbroken and sad. So he wanted to give them a pet that they could hold for the rest of their life and never have to grieve over. And I'm like, that is the most noble motivation to do something like that ever. And it's the same like types of motivations that I hear for people getting into the NFT world. So that's why like I picked like Pet Rocks, little digital pixelated rocks, to be our first project to go out. You know?
I like that.
Very dope. Very, very dope. I was scoping it, and yeah, man. I didn't know the reasoning behind it, but that right there, bro, is very touching. I like that. Very cool.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
we're actually like, between the two of us, we do everything from like, you know, digital art, painting, filmmaking, writing, poetry, music, like everything. So what we hope to do is to like take this brand of Solo XO and expand it out into the world, like the metaverse, and like try to like get into like spatial, like different like platforms like Minecraft, like set up a Minecraft server so our holders can go all play on the same server. Get into places like Roblox and like Sandbox and other places like that.
So, how do you envision the metaverse in general? You know, virtual environments in the future.
In the future, I think it's going to be kind of like the best examples. Like I know Facebook is trying to like get into the metaverse and everything, but I think they're attacking it like the wrong way.
Mhm.
The way I envision it is more of a place that is like a Roblox or a Minecraft, right? So you have basically like, or like even a World of Warcraft, right? Or like an MMO space, right? So you have a universe that like people can just log onto, and through a portal like that, like a Minecraft lobby or a Roblox lobby or something, you can go to where you want to go. If you want to go to the mall over here, you got Amazon portal over here, and you jump through that, right? So it'll basically be like an emulation of like the real world set into the metaverse, like set digitally, basically. So you put on your like AR glasses or your VR glasses, and all of a sudden you can interact with everything just like you do in Web 2 scrolling, but now you're not physically, but mentally there, you know, visually there.
Yeah, I like that. You know, and that's something I've mentioned before, is that I can see it being like an MMORPG, you know, not like the everyday interaction with, you know, like the main thing, but I do think that there is going to be an element for people to choose, an element everywhere. But if you really want, I'm sorry.
I got the same Amber Alert.
Holy moly! I have all
Oh,
my.
I thought it was a tornado, but I said, "Get your ass up out of there, boy!"
What is? Man, I didn't even look. Oh my goodness! Look, if you see me running in there, I'm gonna be hiding underneath, you know, the blanket in there. I got the blanket. I'm in the bathtub. You know what?
Right.
So, so yeah, the whole MMORPG thing, I can envision that.
Like, have you ever seen Ready Player One?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or read the book and stuff? I think it's
Yeah.
going to be closer to that than what you see currently. You know what I'm saying? Where you could go into a world and everything's connected through like virtual reality. And it's going to be like, right now it's everything's mixed with like Web 2, right? So whenever you want to go get into NFTs, you have to get on Twitter, right? You have to get on Opensea, right? Eventually those separate portals would be gone away with, and like you'll get onto Google and it'll be like the lobby for Ready Player One, and then you can go walk to wherever you want to go.
Yeah, I agree, man. Did you read Ready Player 2? I don't know.
I haven't, no.
Brother, I recommend it. I think it's even better than the first one.
Okay, yeah.
I really liked it. I mentioned that in a video, and somebody in the chat said no, that part 2 was not good. but I personally liked it because it was like next level, and I really do envision that is really where we're gonna end up years from now. But anyway,
Yeah.
you know, so and by the way, you mentioned World of Warcraft. I'm curious, have you ever played that?
No, I haven't. I have friends that have played it. It was one of those games that I purposely like kind of stayed away from because like all my friends that I knew that played it got obviously really addicted to it and like obsessed with it. So I stayed away from it. And then Minecraft kind of stuck up to me. So I'm that addicted to Minecraft now compared to what they were with Warcraft.
That is the best decision you ever made. I lost years
Yeah.
of my life playing that World of Warcraft, man.
Yeah.
It is World of crack. That right
Yeah.
there, it's horrible.
Yeah,
It
I
is
know a lot
horrible.
of people that sunk a lot of money into it too.
Oh, bro, and that's what I don't understand. People say, "Oh, I'm not gonna invest in these NFTs, yada yada yada," but yet you will go and spend all this money on World of Warcraft, on buying gold or buying skins on Fortnite, and my kids play Roblox. They want money, Robux to spend on, and this is not where I can take these things like on Veve or Opensea or whatever. I can take them and I have possession of these. Are you in agreement with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of the same thing. Like I also play like the stock market and stuff too, right? So a lot of like if you're trading NFTs and stuff, you could look at it as like that's your stock in that company, and that company is the team that's making it or whatever. To me, it's a little more like like the stock market is very like cold, right? So like it's very impersonable, right? I'm not going to talk to the CEO of like Disney or GE or something like that, right? I'm just making a transaction digitally on the stock market. Where with NFTs, actually, for the most part, you can go and talk to these people that like actually you're investing in and find out what their roadmap is and stuff like that. But you can also like get involved in the community of everyone else that's also holding that same NFT or that same collection of NFTs. So I think it's even more dynamic than like people really realize, like they're not looking at it as like all the aspects that go into it. They're looking at it as just like, well, is it worth the same as my paper dollar? Well, actually, it's worth more than your paper dollar because it comes with a lot more than just, like the paper that it's printed on and the promise from the government,
Yeah. Do you have any favorite stocks or cryptos? Stocks and cryptos.
This is not financial advice. I like I mentioned a lot, like I'm a huge Disney fan. So like Disney stock's my safe bet, like, the stock market just not crashed, but it had a nice correction in the last month or so. And Disney like went down to like 130 from like 160 something or something like that.
Mhm.
So I bought a bunch of that. And Disney, like my philosophy is invest in the companies that are not going to go anywhere, right? So if a company drops down like 10%, 15, 20%, if it's a company like Disney, they're not going bankrupt, they're not going to go out of business. They're going to come back within like the year. So buy it up, it's a guaranteed
agree
bet.
with that. Totally agree with that. And to add on to that, I would say also invest in the companies that you consume.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like that's what I like. You look at
buying it. Yeah, if you're buying it yourself and it's popular, on top of that, I mean.
Yeah. And then like Warren Buffett, like I saw an interview with him. He talked about why he buys McDonald's, why he bought McDonald's. And he's like, well, because I like the cheeseburgers. and sometimes it's that simple. If you like it, there's a million other people in the world that are going to like it too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you mentioned Warren Buffett. So, if you were going to be, rich, Warren Buffett status, but you had to still maintain a job or a business. What would it be? What kind of job or business would it be?
Oh man, like I would say like filmmaking. If I could, like, if I had that much money, I could make any film I wanted without having to worry about selling it. And then also artist, you know, I think like this NFT game is like really great for artists and stuff, because like someone like me who could never envision a future of like making art, like I could find like envision a future of like, you know, writing screenplays or making films or something as like something that's feasible, but just like art for art's sake, like NFTs, like giving the opportunity for millions of people around the world to make a little money off of it. And so like I think what I'm focusing on right now is pretty much a dream come true in a way, you know?
Yeah, I agree, man. You know, it's crazy. My wife, she has started making NFTs. Legit.
Nice.
She has a nice little portfolio going and everything. She, you know, a couple of weeks ago, she's like, oh, I want to, you know, because you know I talked to her about it, and you know I'm involved in whatever, and so she's like, oh, you know.
Plug her collection for your viewers so they can go check it out.
You know, I should. I need to talk to her first. I need to talk to her first. I haven't, you know, but she has a few already like live, you know.
Nice.
So yeah, man, it's dope. It's dope.
Got to get her on Beluga's Twitter Spaces.
I know.
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. She's probably watching. So if you're watching, babe, you know, drop something in the comments. You know, drop a link or something.
Right.
So,
And you know what? Like you shouted out Beluga, and I gotta say, like Beluga Spaces. I think Beluga's was the first space that I ever went to on Twitter, and like I came into the NFT world knowing nothing about it, and through like the Polygon like network and like the what they're like branding as the Polygon Alliance now, and like all those people that are doing those Twitter Spaces are like so welcoming and so informative. I've learned so much like so quickly by like attending those spaces like that.
I think I'm you reincarnated, because it's pretty much how I'm actually getting real, I won't say like education, but I'm getting way more of a dynamic feel for the community and all the things that aren't just a linear thing to understand about the art and how to make an NFT and all, you know, all the technical stuff aside, you know, when you're talking support, community knowledge, you know, it's just like, man, it's a lot, you know. And like you said earlier, you really see how global this is and how this digital medium allows all of us to work together and communicate and do things that were impossible before.
Yeah.
You know, in the 90s, you couldn't collaborate with 3 different people of 3 different disciplines from Philippines, India, and then Los Angeles somewhere, you know, like it's impossible.
Yeah. It's amazing. Like what, like the first artwork that I saw, or the first NFT that I sold, actually, like I spoke in some random room or random Twitter space, and it was a gentleman from India. Like while I was speaking, went on my Opensea and bought some up. And like in the real world, I would have had to go to like every art show in the neighborhood and try to show for like days and never like meet someone from India, you know. It's amazing.
Right.
Mm-hmm. For sure, man. So I appreciate definitely Beluga. You know, the first time not the first time, but the first time I spoke, you know, I spoke about you know, the Strange's NFT, and then my few NFTs, and so you know, the fact that there's a platform, and I love Polygon. You know, once I learned about Polygon and I dug in, I really feel that Polygon is going to continue to grow.
Absolutely.
I love it. I absolutely love it. It solves a serious problem, in my opinion, and I think that's you know, where people are going to gravitate to. And I see more and more projects by super famous people being made on Polygon, and that's, I mean, come on now.
I think we need to do a collaboration of a presentation of the NFT on Beluga Spaces too, man. We need to definitely get some awareness raised on that, you know, in the project and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the way I look at Polygon, right, as like a newcomer coming in, and I don't have a lot of money, right? So I looked around, and obviously Ethereum's the big one, right? That's the one that everyone wants to be on or whatever. But I came in and I looked at it and I'm like, from a business perspective, it was like, okay, I don't know if this is going to work, right? I've got to invest in myself and I got to do this. So what's the smart business route to go? Well, obviously the lazy printing, right? So I put less capital up front, but then also it's less capital that my collectors or my buyers have to spend to get a hold of my artwork, right? So you're open to a lot bigger of a market. And I know I've been hearing a lot lately about the Polygon having like scams, right? Like people don't trust Polygon because it's scam. But since I've been in the space, the only scams that are in rug pulls that I've heard come off of Ethereum, you know?
Right.
Like there's so many, like I haven't heard any big rug pulls coming off of Polygon.
Wow.
And there's nothing wrong with Ethereum or any of the marketplaces or anything. I think like all the blockchains have a place and it's going to be cross blockchain in the future. So it's not going to matter. But like, I feel like Polygon gets an unfair rap, you know?
I agree. But you know what? Time will tell. And I feel strong, you know, that it's my favorite crypto to invest in. So that's how strong I feel about it.
Yeah, it's definitely growing. I've definitely made money off of it already.
No, yeah, for sure. It dipped down to $1.60 yesterday, and I wasn't able to be on my phone like that. And by the time I checked it, I was literally going into bed, and I saw that, and it was already at $1.70 something or $1.80. I can't recall. And I was like, damn, because I have a strict rule. Like I only invest like a certain amount, but then if it hits like $1.60, I put a little extra. And it hit, but I missed it. I'm not up on it like that, you know. But so Solo XO, I gotta ask you, your favorite type of food that you like to eat, man. Talk to me, man. What do you like to eat?
Food. That's a hard one. I want to say pizza, but I that was like historically my favorite, but I've had to cut out down on pizza because you know I've gained a lot of weight during the last couple of years. I don't know. I really like Italian food, like some lasagna, stuff like that, chicken parmesan, and I can get down on some Thai food too, like some pad Thai and stuff.
That's good stuff. That's good eating, man. I made some vodka sauce with shrimp for my parents.
That looks so good, man. Ooh.
Bro, my mom and my
good.
dad were like, oh my God, I've made it for them before, but they're like, man, this was like the best one ever.
That looks serious, man. You can tell it's serious by like the edge of the saucepan, that residual ring that be on the edge.
Yeah.
Bro, the next time you come to Florida, yo, I'll juice up some of that, man. Woo, it's good stuff, man. So
wait,
what
I
about
got a question though, real quick.
Oh,
man.
sorry, go ahead.
I want to take it back, man. I want to know what was Solo XO's first car.
My first car?
Yeah.
Was actually a Honda Del Sol.
Yeah.
Remember
was it
those?
lime green? Was that the lime green joint?
No, it was black.
Okay.
But it had the back window that rolled down.
Yes.
And the hard top that came down and you put in the
removable.
trunk.
Yes, that's right.
I got my license suspended for that car. For driving too many speeding tickets.
Hilarious. That's like the car to have in Florida or Cali. Like that is the car.
Yeah, in Florida, a convertible, no top, doors open. Go.
Man, you know, it's just I got my license suspended too. It's so funny you mentioned that. When I was a kid, you know, when I was young, I mean, I'm young now, but when I was younger, too many speeding tickets, man. So I know what you mean, man.
I'm glad it happened when I was younger because now I drive the speed limit. I don't get tickets. Knock on wood.
Bro, I'm the same way, man. I am the same way. I look back at that and I'm like, how the heck? I don't even speed now. Strange. Are you the same way? Like, are you a speed demon? I don't know, man. Strange seems like he's a speed demon. I don't know.
Bro, I have a 350Z. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's 6 speed. What do you mean?
You going? You out? Like outies, man. I'm out. See ya. Yeah,
I had
man.
those too. You know what I'm saying? I had those too.
So, favorite snack, Solo XO. What do you like? Guilty pleasure dessert.
Cupcakes, chocolate cupcakes, man.
Mm.
Yeah, I like. My mom actually made like a whole bunch of cupcakes that she messed up with. So she's like, here, you can have these, just eat them or whatever. So in the last like 3 days, I've probably eaten like 6 to 10 cupcakes every day.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Bro, that's dangerous. It's dangerous.
It's very dangerous, very dangerous.
Bro, and the thing is, we have Publix out here, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you're familiar. It's strange. You remember?
I miss Publix, man. I'd be tearing up everything from the fried chicken to the desserts to the
the subs are great.
The subs, yes. Oh my God.
Okay. All right, we're going a little off track, but I have to mention this. It's so funny. When I was dating Madi, right, and she was telling me Publix has the best fried chicken, and I was like, no, they do not. No, they don't. Like, when you bugging, right? And so, I'm sorry we're going a little left field, but this is, and she's probably listening too. So, we had a competition because I chose. We got Publix fried chicken. We got Popeyes. We got oh God, we got like 3 or 4 different ones. I'm trying.
I know you went to Buffalo Wild Wings or something.
No, it wasn't Buffalo Wild Wings, but we got like everything.
Real chicken.
She gave me a blind taste test. I sat,
wow.
she gave me one piece at a time, wow. And I said, okay, this is what number one, blah, 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 blah. What's bugged out is what I said, before the test, my favorite came out in last place. Publix was first place.
Wow. Wow.
So Publix passed the blind taste test.
Bro, it is the branding. It's the branding that you just, I don't know. And then my taste buds corrected me and said, no, man, the commercials have you brainwashed. It's Publix. And then bust it. I did the same thing to my dad. And guess what he picked? Publix.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you what, Joe, when I come down there, you can hook up the, the vodka sauce with the shrimp or whatever, right? But I got you on some fried chicken, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing a lot of people don't know is, KFC, that whole Southern thing, that's all part of Black soul food, man, and from the South, you know what I'm saying? So, that recipe of 12, what has he got, 11 herbs and spices? Like, in my family,
it's a secret, yeah.
Right, in my family, like, we use like 16, you know what
I mean?
So
wow.
I'm sure that I use what KFC got and then more. So, of course, it's going to taste a little different, but, man, I'm telling you, a lot of people slap the hell out of their mama for my chicken, bro. Telling you.
I bet. I'm down.
I got you.
Down. We do some vodka, some fried chicken. What?
Yeah.
I love to eat. So, all right. So we're talking a lot of crazy. We're talking fried chicken. We're talking Italian, like, vodka sauce and all that. So let's talk about some places. 3 favorite places that you would like to go visit. Whether you've been there or not, doesn't matter. 3 favorite places.
I think number 1 would have to be Thailand. I went to Thailand like a few years ago, and I suffer from like anxiety really bad. So for me to like leave and get on a plane and go do that was like a big accomplishment. But we went to a place called Tansei Beach in the middle of like nowhere in Thailand. It's like a world-renowned like rock climbing place. And literally we didn't see a car for like 2 weeks. It was like in the middle of the jungle with monkeys around and stuff. It's the most beautiful place I ever been.
Wow.
So that's number 1. I'd go back to there. And then I'd want to go to like places like Italy for the food, obviously, but then also like the history, like you got Venice and Florence and Rome and all the architecture and the art that's there would be like amazing to see. And then third, I don't know, man. Like that's a hard one. I think maybe like someplace like Scotland or somewhere to see castles or something.
Dude, I love it. I love it. I love those choices, man. Super dope. I haven't been to any of those places. And, you know, by the way, in the chat, Rafael Garcia, thank you so much for the super chat. Much appreciated, man, coming through. Much appreciated. We're if you just joined us, we're sitting down with Solo XO, Polygon project creator. So we're getting to know a little bit about him. And so, okay, so what about married, kids?
Not married or kids. Currently single.
Good
Not
deal.
not that much looking for it though, but
No, man, good deal.
focusing on work right now.
No, that's it, man. You can dedicate your time, your focus into your projects. You got a lot of things going on. You have a lot of things cooking, screenplays and whatnot. You obviously have the Polygon project.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of things cooking. I like that. I like that. So,
So, I was gonna ask a question. If you could see anything made into an NFT, what would you like to see made?
Oh, I've been thinking about this. I like film, right? I love film, right? So I'm really kind of racking in my head of like, what's a good way to make film into an NFT? You know,
I'm thinking of the same
like
thing.
like you can like sell tickets as NFTs to a screening or a virtual screening or something, but then the film's not an NFT.
Right.
And you can like just make a film an NFT, but that's like, how do you really like get that same feeling that you get from going to like a film festival or a theater or something to watch a film, you know? So that's, if I could achieve that or figure that puzzle out, it'd be amazing.
yeah, man. Yeah,
I agree. I have a friend who has a lot of vintage footage from the 90s of legendary hip hop artists. And
nice.
yeah, we're trying to figure out, you know, I'm trying to work with Beluga. You know, eventually I'm going to present this to the community once we figure out a little bit more, but we're trying to figure out what we can do with all of that footage because, you know, it's like a time capsule, timestamp type of thing. And it's just hard to figure out, you know, because of where we are in this space and everything, like what converts well. You know, I don't know if someone buying an NFT that's a video that's 15 minutes long, I don't know how that converts yet. You know, like it's hard to connect, you know, because it's so, everything is so art based and not necessarily like music. Like music is straightforward. Like you buy the NFT, it's gonna play the song. You know what I'm saying? Like it's straightforward. So
yeah. Well, one thing that like, you know, like the first thing that comes to my mind would be like, kind of like what I mentioned, if we could like do like a virtual showing of them, right? So like, you know how like these spatial things are getting really big, right? These NFT art galleries that you could go virtually walk through and stuff. You could do something like that, but like hold like an event where you show these videos, but then attach those videos to NFTs and hold an auction after like the presentation or something.
There you go. See, we're going to have to talk after this. You know what I'm saying? We might have to formulate a little team. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Get this going.
For sure.
Like the vision. And then I was also thinking too, you know, even if it's like an interview type of thing, whatever you're asking someone, right, you could kind of visualize what they're saying in their answer. So I was thinking, you know, we can animate whatever the story is they're telling, you know, show it in a graphic form, you know.
Yeah. You could almost do like have the NFT be like a GIF or something that's animated with the artwork and everything. Exactly. But then the unlockable content goes to like a Google Drive or something where you can download the whole thing or whatever.
Right. Yeah. That's the beauty of these NFTs, man. It's like you have options.
Yeah. We just brainstormed a whole idea right here in the middle of an
Got a
interview.
whole collection now. All right, we're done, guys.
Fast Eddie P, man, good looking
Whoa.
out for the super
Whoa.
chat. That's big time right there. Much appreciated. Oh man, Fast Eddie P, man. Yeah, coming through, man. That much appreciated, man. Thank you, man. That is super dope, super dope. So if anybody's just joined, we're sitting down with Solo XOs. And so I wanted to ask, are you into sports?
I'm not. No.
No sports?
No, I like, when I was younger, I did like gymnastics when I was real young, but and like played like neighborhood, like street hockey and football, but definitely went more towards the artistic route and the intellectual route than the sports. I'd rather sit inside in the air conditioning reading a book than sweating outside.
No, I hear you, man. So what about music?
Music, I like all kinds of music. You know, music's like the language of the soul. You know, it sound cliche. I'm really into, like, right now, I'm really into like a lot of the newer alt rock and stuff, like 21 Pilots and that kind of stuff. I really always got into like things that mix genres, right? Whether it was like rock and electronica or hip hop and rock and stuff. So things like the Gorillas, I think is, you know, I'm waiting for them to come into the NFT world. They were already like an animated band that would, you know, so it'd be great for them to come into this world. But and I got into a lot of like hip hop back in like the 2000s, like Outkast, you know, and obviously Wu-Tang's great. Oh, you talked about TV shows that I was into lately. Like Wu-Tang has a show on, what is it, on Hulu, I think it is. Yep. That the RZA like writes most of it and created it and produced it, and it's like their story of coming up. And that show is phenomenal, from the music to the acting, cinematography. Like, it's just, that's a top-notch, underrated show in my opinion.
Yeah, man. But I haven't scoped it out, haven't seen it, but I heard about it. I want to say, Strange, you mentioned it to me, I think.
Yeah, man. Yep.
So all right, so I wanted to ask, this is, you know, one of my favorite questions. You know, you jump in the DeLorean, throw on the flux capacitor, and you travel in time to 3 different points, man. One time before you were born, any time in history to go check something out, and then one time during your life so far, you're going back in time, but during your life, and then something in the future that you think that is going to happen, you go check it out. So 3 times: before your life, during, and after.
Oh man. I say before my life, I would say I'd go back to like the Italian Renaissance, you know. But I have to put a caveat to that. I want to be able to bring antibiotics and penicillin and stuff with me when I go back there. Then during my life, I don't know. I'd probably go back and see like some concert I have never seen before or something, you know, maybe like I haven't seen Tool before, so maybe go back to the 90s and see Tool or something, you know, or go see Metallica when they were good or something like that, you know. In the future, obviously when there's world peace and hunger is solved, you know, we all get along and just live in utopia. That's where I'd go in the future.
I love it, man. That's dope. Definitely want to see that happen also, man. So, yeah, all right. So I don't know if you have any tattoos or anything, but if you were going to get a tattoo, what tattoo would it be of?
I do have tattoos. Again, without the risk of doxing myself, I will say I have a tattoo in the middle of my back that I got when I was like young. I was probably like 18 or something. And I drew a picture like really quick of like a dragon. And I went to the tattoo artist and I was like, hey, I want this on my back. And I kind of thought like, okay, he's gonna like fix it up and make it look good, but he did exactly what I drew, like sketched out
No.
on my back. So it's like, it's still there. Maybe one day I'll get it removed. But if I was gonna get tattoos now, I don't know. I'd probably wait until like if I ever got an animated film made or something, get like a character of the animated character on it or something. So,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
If I have an NFT that takes off, that'll be the next one.
Absolutely, absolutely. It will. It will. You gotta just manifest it. It will.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. So I also, another favorite question is, do you believe in aliens?
No.
No. So we got a no, a definite no.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. I take the intellectual pick. The possibility of aliens out there, yes, of course, out there in the universe somewhere. But if we look at like the logistics, right, to the closest galaxy to us is like, I'm guessing here, like around 300 million light years away, right? So that's the speed that light travels in a year, right? So we're limited, like as physical matter and physical beings, we're limited to how fast we can travel. The closest to the speed of light that we get, we exponentially need more energy, right? So it gets to a point of infinity. So even if we were able to travel at the speed of light and had an infinite amount of energy to propel us there, it would still take 300 million years to get there. You know what I'm saying? So you're talking about if aliens did come here, they would have to their lifespan would have to be into the hundreds of millions of years and be able to have enough energy and enough food to survive.
So what if all that took place before any human beings were even here on this planet? What if they already are in the planet?
Like the ancient alien theology?
No, just instead of them coming from outer space, they come from inner space. I mean, Robert Byrd already reported that there's inner sun, there's prehistoric animals, all of that going on inside the earth.
Oh, like the hollow earth thing?
Maybe, but I'm just going by what Robert Byrd said, admiral, So if that's possible, then you're talking whole civilizations that could have existed for who knows how many millions of years in this planet, within the planet. It could be very possible that we're the only species of beings that live on a planet. When you think about how temperamental living on a planet is, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It would make sense to live in the planet.
Yeah. No, it's an interesting thought. It's an interesting thought, but the hollow earth theory, which is basically an idea that came around in I want to say the 1700s. I could be wrong about that. But that basically says that we have a hollow earth that inside of it, like you said, we have what in Marvel Universe would be the Savage Lands or something, right? Where you have all these prehistoric animals, other civilizations, the humans and stuff. But ultimately, the science doesn't match up with that. It's just a speculative theory that's no evidence has been presented by that. But what is interesting is when you look back at ancient, I know I'm going way off topic here, but when you go look back at ancient civilizations and stuff, and you start looking at sunken civilizations, not necessarily Atlantis or Lemuria or whatever, but there are civilizations that are older than what we recognize as the early civilizations of Mesopotamia, Ur and Sumer and stuff like that are sunken underwater. I think there's some off the coast of Japan and some off of I want to say Africa or somewhere, but they're actually ruins that are underwater that at one point in time they were above water. And if you calculate when the sea level would have been at that level, it would have been way older than what we realize civilization is, like older than 10,000 years ago, you know?
Right.
So it's really interesting. But again, those wouldn't be aliens, those would just be humans, you know?
It's so funny because the alien question, you know, the chat kind of started moving a little bit. Even my wife is in there mentioning stuff, talking. I love it.
My bad. I didn't mean to stir anything up.
Oh no, it's a very interesting topic. You know, it's something we talk about here in the house every day almost.
It's just further evidence that we might need to get that channel going.
Yo, for real. Okay, so all right, so talk to me, Solo XO. 3 wishes. Any 3 wishes, man?
Any 3 wishes ever?
Yes, sir.
To have more wishes. I know that's not allowed. I would say cure world hunger, abolish war, and abolish prejudice in every form. You know, prejudice in religion, race, everything. Fix those 3 things and we live in utopia.
I love it.
I like it. I like it. Very, very dope. I love it. I love it, man. Live in utopia, man. And you know, that's second time, you know, you mentioned something, you know, like that in here, and I really do like that, man. That means I don't have to work, right? No more work.
Well, by that point, we have like robots and androids that do it all for us, right? We get to be on vacation and create art for our whole life.
That's it, man. So anything that we haven't spoken about today that it would surprise somebody about you, and obviously you're limited on what you can share, but you know, anything that's surprising about you that we haven't spoken about.
Surprisingly, without doxing myself, I don't know, I'll say something. I say something simple is I'm a triplet. So
wow.
Yeah, so there's like, I have a brother and a sister that's the same age as me. We were born on the same day, a minute apart.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
very cool.
It's fun. Yeah, we fought like animals back when we were growing up, but did not get along, but we're cool now.
Man, that's how it is. That's how it is. You know, yeah. My older sister used to beat me up, and she's 9 years older. And yeah, she used to beat me down until that one day I don't know, I got strong enough and I was able to win a fight. That was the last time she ever fought me, man. She never beat me down after that.
Yeah.
It's easy to start a fight when you know you could win.
Yeah. Yeah, you know I still hold a little guilt because I would like start fights with my brother when I was younger. And like I could always win just because I could. And like, so I would do it just for fun. And I still feel bad about it. I made amends to him. I apologized to him and stuff. And he's cool, but like, yeah, that's siblings for you, I guess.
Yeah, that's how it is, man. That's just how it is. Living in the same roof, man.
Yeah.
So,
but before we go, or before, yeah. I don't know if you're going to end it or whatever, I want to drop a little alpha. We, like me and my partner in Solo XO, we're actually working on our next project. It's going to be a 10K generative. I don't want to say too much about it, but like this is like the first time I'm mentioning it in public. So that's something to look out for. It's really exciting. It's got some great artwork that's coming along with it.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. Yeah, man. You know, feel free to reach out to me if you want to talk about it on the channel again. You know, the next project.
Yeah, for sure.
Whatever. Yeah, man, for sure, man. And once this is uploaded, I'm gonna go ahead and put your link to your project in the description, so that way people can find you. And then again, within the next 24 hours, I'll get that tweet out, and you know, with the link to the video and whatnot. You know, I promise. I promise.
Yeah, appreciate it. It's cool.
So anything you want to mention about anything before we end it, Solo XO?
No, can I ask y'all a question?
Sure.
What's y'all's favorite comic book?
Mm.
Oh man, like my favorite character to read.
Yeah, like favorite, yeah, franchise or character or whatever.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because when I collected as a kid, my favorite was Silver Surfer and Ghost Rider. It's tough. I don't know. If I had to pick one, you know, I pick Silver Surfer. It's
Yeah,
close.
he's got a great storyline. Like,
Yeah, it's just I've always since as far back as I can remember, anything outer space I've loved. And so yeah, I loved Silver Surfer. Long story short.
have you ever seen that cartoon from like the 80s?
With Silver Surfer in it?
Yeah, Silver Surfer had his own cartoon. You can
Oh
find it on
God,
Disney Plus now.
I'm gonna have to check it out. I probably did. It rings a bell, but I can't place it.
Oh, it's good. It still holds up.
But you know, but if I had to say now, I have grown to really like Spider-Man. So
Yeah.
so that, you know, that's my answer. So Strange.
It's tough, man. You know, I grew up a fan of a lot. You know, it was like weird because I'm the type to like not really be necessarily a fan of something, but still collect it. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
respectful, or you know, certain things like that. So like someone like Submariner to me was like weak. To me, he was weak. But that was like for some reason, Submariner issue number 9 was a heralded book in this comic book store that I used to always go to. So like there were certain books that were like real expensive that they would keep up on this top shelf, but you couldn't even barely even see what it looked like sometimes, some of the books. So
Yeah.
that book was like so old, and like that's just a book I wanted. So the best way for me to answer the question, I think, would be like hypothetically, if I still have my box of comics that I collected from my childhood, bagged and boarded, if you were to look through there, you'd probably say, okay, the book that's the most collected, the most consistently must be his favorite. So if you were to look through my books, you'd probably see the most, you know, chronologically ordered 1 through whatever is Punisher War Journal, and then X-Men. Like I had just
Okay. Yeah.
even classic X-Men issues, and then, you know, like Marvel Universe. I used to have A through Z every year, the death issues, the annuals. You know, I just loved it all, man. Honestly, it's funny. My name's Doctor Strange, but I didn't collect Doctor Strange. Like, I really didn't like him like that. You know,
Okay.
it's funny. Like, you know what it is? It's like at the age I was collecting, the wordplay being used in his comics was way too out there for me. Like, it was just, whoa, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it felt like, all right, once my vocabulary gets up a little more, like, I got to be a teenager maybe to vibe with this, you know?
Yeah. Well, even now when I read it, it's still like out there. I mean, it's not
It's a
it's
rough
not
read.
everyday language. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rough read, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. But then that's why I got into comic books, was because my dad brought comic books home and was like, all right, you need to start reading, you know, and so it was a good strategy. It was a good strategy, man. I'm trying to do it with my kids.
Hard.
Also.
It's hard.
Yeah, man. For sure, for sure. Yeah, I'm not gonna be buying any Doctor Strange for the kids, man.
Nah, don't even try it.
No, heck no. Heck no. But what's cool is nowadays they have like but they're not like comic books, they're like books, you know, and the books are catered to kids. So they, you know, they're
Yeah.
you know,
Spider-Man's real big in that. Like Spider-Man, you can get like every reading age, like a book for it.
yeah,
That
man.
is true, man. That is true.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to be a generationally transcendent character, you know, for
Yeah.
years to come, I think, you know, especially once they start pushing Miles Morales more, forget it.
Oh yeah, man. Like that's gonna be great.
Yeah, man.
I'm waiting for them to bring him into MCU. Like they keep hinting at it, but they haven't brought him in yet.
Bro,
Yeah.
it's just a matter of time, man. It's gonna happen. It's gonna go crazy. It's gonna go
for
crazy.
sure.
Speaking of
I
Miles
mean,
Morales, man, we got a crazy comic dropping on Friday on the Veve app. forgot what the actual title is. Joe, do you know?
It's Spider-Man. It's
right.
it's Spider-Man. I personally I looked at the announcement real quick when I scrolled through. I did see it. Very when you texted, very interesting. That I want that book. I wanted that book
Physically, right?
Yeah, and it's just so funny because I was specking hard on that book a while ago, and it's not a big book. You know, you can again, if I had to guess, it's like a $20 book, and I would have to go and verify that. So don't quote me, but so it's not a very big book at all. But it's a book that I actually want.
I think I want to own
that book.
Yeah, I want that book, man.
Yeah, I want. So it's like okay, it's not a big book value wise, but I want it.
Right. Yeah. I don't care.
Well, to me, that's more important. It's like the enjoyment you're going to get out of that book is way more than the money you're going to pay for it.
Well, that's like saying, you know, it's the collector side is more dominant than the investor flipper side. You
Absolutely.
know?
110%. That statement right there is what I'm feeling with this comic book. The collector, it's so much so that when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, I forgot about that book. I was working hard on it and I want it. And I'm going to get the physical. Now I'm getting the physical because it's one of those that I forgot about. So for sure. I'm super excited about that. Absolutely.
Oh, real quick, man. Fast Lady P in the chat said, with the amount of my Spanish brothers and sisters that love comics, I'm surprised there's not more Spanish characters. You know, you got to remember, Eddie, we are in the age of wokeness, as these people like to call it. So be on the lookout. We got America Chavez coming to Dokta Strange, Multiverse of Madness. You know, so it's.
But we also had what's his name, Ghost Rider.
Right. Oh man, I so enjoy. I'm still pissed off that they canceled that show, man.
Yeah.
That show was just getting good to me. The budget was getting good. I mean, they did a great job with Ghost Rider. I actually enjoy the Ghost Riders with Nicolas Cage. What do you feel about those solo?
I actually did not see those.
What?
They're
no,
good.
I didn't.
God.
Are they good?
They're good.
Like, Nicolas Cage, I could.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
plays the same guy. He's like Keanu Reeves. He plays the same dude in every movie.
Yeah, that's what I feel about Tom Cruise.
The same guy, bro. He even gets to wear, like, when it comes to Keanu Reeves and his wardrobe, it's easy. He when he goes to wardrobe, it's the same suit that he wore in the other movie. Constantine, black suit, white shirt, black tie. Matrix, black suit. It's the same dude.
Yeah.
All we gotta do is just say, "Whoa!" That's all he gotta say, and he gets paid.
But you don't talk too much shit about Keanu Reeves, though. You're gonna have the internet like up at you. He's up in love like national treasure now.
Oh, I know. They love him. He could do no wrong.
Fun fact.
That's like 7 lines a movie, man, but he could do no wrong. You know. So.
Fun fact is that Nicolas Cage is a comic book collector.
No way.
Yeah, investor.
All right, I'm gonna watch Ghost Rider now.
Well, you know his last name isn't Cage, right? He got that from Luke Cage.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that was another show I was upset they canceled. I thought that was done very well.
You see, me and Solo XO could vibe out, man. We on the same page.
Right?
Man, so disappointing, man.
Yeah.
Man, so sorry everybody. You know what? We chopped it up with Solo XO. Link in the description for his Polygon project. And once the live is uploaded, gonna get ahead and get that put on into the description as soon as possible. So everybody, you know what? Drop a like. Thank you so much for stopping by. Check out Strange's YouTube channel. Link in the description. You'll see like 2 lines, and in there's a few different links, and you'll find it in there. Strange, you want to plug the channel a little bit?
Oh man, I don't know, man. I'm not good at this elevator stuff, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I got to work on it if I get on Beluga's Twitter Spaces. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, the channel is All Things Strange. It's all things in my brain going on about Veve. you know, it's conversations I have with people. It's my thoughts, my insights, my experiences of being on the app for a little bit of time, you know, since March last year. You know, it'll be a collage of things, man. But you know, once we get it to grow and we're able to go live, you know, that's where it's really gonna come to life. I'll be able to chop it up with you guys and you know, have a good time.
For sure, for sure, for sure. All right, so Solo XO, thank you so much for joining us and spending this time with us, and you know, allowing us to get to know you and getting to know who you are as a person, and obviously also about the project.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Very cool, very cool. All right, thanks again. All right, everybody, have a good night.